which was a very large sum of wealth had overcome all of you, as I think the split between everybody was 5 figures apiece. Yeah, I think minimum 5 figures apiece. Let's see.
We're rich.
Somewhat rich. Yeah.
Wow. We're gonna try.
I have 792 PPs.
Nice. That's good.
Fucking. How many PBs do I have? 798. Yeah.
Nice.
God, this was so. It really is easy to be a self-starter when, okay, I had 0 money after getting killed by kobolds.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, you just gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Got a boost.
All right, Drew, it works. Thanks.
Yeah, you got it.
Stop eating all the avocado toast.
You know what? Thanks.
Stop buying potions of healing you don't need. Delve into the nearest dungeon.
It says a lot about my beliefs that I don't even include avocado toast in my worlds, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and therefore self-starter.
If they would just learn
Obviously.
from me. So yeah, a lot of what last session entailed was finishing off the fight between y'all and Aaron Zoth, the Sailor's Doom. You were able to find also a note among the treasure trove, detailing like this sailor's last stand, it seemed, against the creature. It referenced something about, well, it was dated a couple months prior. I think it was about 2 months prior to you guys being here. And it just mentioned a name Devi, who seems to be a lover or relative or something like that. Could be a child, you're not sure. Although it did include the word concubine, so child is hopefully not there.
Hopefully.
Yeah. It mentioned sort of returning the journal to her that was written in some form of like a shorthand. And
Okay, there was a huge discussion about the shorthand.
yeah, it's great, right? And it's just sort of said, I leave all my worldly possessions at our estate in her name. And it was signed by a shipmaster, Rain Ike. And among your guys' loot, if you want to refresh the other members of the party, if you would like to detail maybe what you guys had. I know there was some consolidation, so I know, Reinhold, you're holding on to some stuff, but if you just kind of want to go over the tools y'all have, feel free.
Scimitar speed, shield +1, amulet of health, belt of giant strength. I'm still holding on to the flame tongue greatsword because, god damn it, we paid for it. I have a crystal ball that can do some interesting things. It can read minds.
Oh.
And then for some reason I'm holding an emerald gem or elemental gem emerald.
Yeah.
Someone summons an earth elemental, right?
Not this one.
No.
In fact, Reinhold, if you in the items description, if you click.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even know it did that.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just thought it was an inert item. Holy shit.
Nope.
No, I'm keeping that. Keeping that, buddy.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So yeah, you guys have each, like, at minimum, I think, like 14,000 gold pieces worth of currency in your pockets now, which as you guys emerge from the light well, and obviously you're gonna be a bit more weighed down with just raw items, but typically I would assume you guys try to hide a bunch of the riches, if that makes sense. Obviously you have your 3 allies here, right? The sisters and the brother Phoenix. But is there anything like particular you want to hide? Like, do you hide a lot of the gold? Do you hide, certain magical items?
Oh, I'm not hiding a thing. I mean, I'm not gonna go around like shaking a big coin bag full of
Yeah, you're
money.
not flaunting, sure.
Yeah, but I'm not. If somebody asks me about why my coin purse is like 8 times larger, I'll tell them.
I imagine like a lot of these sort of small knickknacks and stuff, since those are in the bag of holding, probably aren't really needing to be held or hidden per se.
Yeah,
Um,
inside the bag of holding, there's a bunch of gemstones, 2 cannonballs. There's like a non-magical scimitar. There's some pounds worth of canvas.
Some canvas.
Yeah. So it's definitely what I would call a mixed bag of holding.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate that.
So you guys certainly have some wealth among you, and as you guys emerge from the Lightwell, obviously the gentleman known as Kovats would probably have joined you because he had done a good portion of the healing and whatnot. And Reinhold, you see Sir Urian just still talking to the one trader Phalian off in the distance. He just sort of makes eye contact at you, nods, and just
I nod back.
Give me a perception check, Reinhold.
Okay.
In the meantime, what are the rest of y'all doing? It's about 4 in the evening right now, so it's getting close to dinner or supper.
Had we already spoken with is it Kos?
There might have been brief conversation at the end of the last session, but nothing that had a lot of substance, I suppose.
Okay. Well, I'll wait and see what everybody else is going to do, but
Okay.
there's a 15 for the perception.
Gotcha, that works for me. Yeah, Kovat is just kind of looking at you guys, making sure you guys are taking the healing spells well and all that.
I'm probably going to sort of take a moment after the decent amount of combat and toil and turmoil. I'm probably gonna go sort of sit by myself, maybe pray for a little bit or something like that. Maybe meditate.
Okay. Yeah. I would say you are certainly going through a bunch of emotions. How is... Give me an insight into the mind of Mencia, into Riven's mind. Chris Angel Mind Freak. How is he... how is Riven dealing with the events of the past day or so?
I imagine that I'm sort of wondering on a couple of things, especially, I guess, the sort of lessened impact of having died again. Sort of, I came back, through the intervention of my companions and allies like before, but, it wasn't as much of a shock, I suppose. And I guess I'm wondering if that means I'm becoming used to death or maybe something else, but I guess after the sort of pretty challenging foes in there, I guess I'm more than anything just looking for a moment of solace, maybe some quiet.
Yeah. And I'll whisper something to you as well, just because I had thought of it, but I never really verbalized it to you.
Got it.
I guess not even falling. Reinhold, when you get to him, he just shakes his head, and he signals to you using one of your languages.
Let me find out what those are. Oh, okay.
Yeah. 2 of the same letter.
Oh shit.
And he sort of tilts his head as if trying to guide you to a private place.
Is this Kavat or?
No.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna be over here then.
Yeah.
That whisper I sent you was just for Kavat.
Oh, I see. Kovat would decline.
Okay.
He'd say something along the lines of, "No, I get to do that every day. It is a renewable resource." He nods and just, glad you're okay. And
The action economy is in shambles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Faylene will excuse herself. It seems that she was expecting you to come over or have some sort of conversation. She'll go back with the other sort of trading caravan and just kind of shoot the shit.
Okay. I guess I would motion like head nod over here, see if that's suitable.
Okay. He will nod.
Okay.
And yeah, he'll just sort of follow your lead.
Okay. I'll head on over there. I'll lean against the cart.
Sure, he'll sort of sit on, an empty crate. He's got like a pre-rolled it seems that he's got like a pre-rolled cigarette he might have gotten from one of the caravans, because you can smell some pretty strong tobacco when he opens up a small leather pouch at his side. He'll take the cigarette and sort of cut it against one of the loose portions of one of his like old leathery scabbards, and holding some sort of dagger. And he'll chip the paper open enough so where he can pour the tobacco into an antique pipe that he takes out. And he'll strike a match and light it. And he'll say, "That's not the best pipe weed when you compare it to what we had back home, but fits and smokes all the same, I suppose."
Well, as long as it takes away some of the stress of what you're about to tell me.
It's can be stressful, I'm sure. He'll sort of sidestep it for a moment and say, "See, you and your friends look quite capable."
Well, we try. I worry for some of them, but I suppose that's my job, is to be the one who worries and make sure they're at least somewhat taken care of.
It's good to see. Good to see the next generation continuing the fight, I suppose. It's a lot of points of light in the darkness in this world. These settlements, these places of interest. It's the in-between places without illumination that certainly give me the most worry. A lot of things that go bump in the night out there.
That's my other job.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk to you about something. I've been living in the Lumenstones, this region, for a good 5 years. I've got a little homestead out by the mirrored hillside. It's near a little island called Lover's Plateau. Used to be a sort of lover's getaway. Hasn't been visited since there hasn't really been too much travel around these parts. Most people stop at the light well and continue on. But I've found it plentiful to make a little place there and go about my days. I wasn't exactly forthcoming to you regarding my absence.
Playing it close to the chest, then.
I mean, I knew I could trust you, but your actions recently here, hearing about what you've been doing and what you're trying to do, it made me, it had a sense of reassurance that I was hoping for before I opened up anymore. After that tourney that I went AWOL for, again, apologize if the Baron had a bit of a shouting match with you, as you were, I guess, the only person he could lay blame on in my absence. I ran into a couple members of the syndicate a couple nights before the tourney. He will... You think he's reaching for something, like he's about to move like a pauldron or like his collar or something to like show you like a tattoo or something, and then his hand goes past his shoulder, past his collarbone, past his neck, up to his mouth, and he'll open one side of his mouth up to show you, and you see two fanged teeth on either side of his upper row of teeth. And he'll just sort of look at you, see your reaction, puff on his pipe again.
Two fanged teeth on his upper row?
Yeah, on either side.
I got a lot of questions. One, is Divine Sense something that's obvious, or do I just kind of like, can I like flit it on and off?
Oh, as far as Divine Sense go, it isn't a so it isn't a spell, right? But it is like a full action, and I sort of think of it like a spell, you know, when you read the rules about like verbal spell casting, right? It takes like certain enunciation, and you can't like whisper it, like it has to be like proclaimed. It's sort of something like that, but more with your somatic sort of hand movements and stuff like that.
Okay, so there's
it is
not like a
obvious,
super...
yes.
Okay, but there's no like easy way to conceal something like that. Okay.
No, but I mean also he doesn't have the same skill set as you. So he might not understand what's happening.
Yeah, I'll pop a quick Divine Sense then, just to make sure.
Okay.
Let me go knock one of those down.
Sure.
Oh, apparently it didn't like that number 4.
Oh, that might be why not, or what the fuck was I gonna say? When we had trouble in with those resources being linked to like your lay on hands and your Divine Sense, if you're doing it manually, that might be the case.
How do you mean?
Why
at 35?
Maybe, but like if you like click it, it uses the resource for sure.
Yeah, but there's like 2 counters and one of them gets used and the other one doesn't.
Oh, I see.
So I try to manually do them both and then pop it out. But I
like
will consume this resource. Okay, yep, that one worked.
Say it looked like it worked that time, yeah.
Features, let me go to here. Okay, yeah. All right, maybe there was something that wasn't parsing right before. It was.
Okay, so you do your sort of tiny ritual, and you don't get a sense of anything like that.
Okay.
He just sort of continues, smoking his pipe until you say something.
I'm sorry, just 1 second.
Sure. And then Vazur, you wanted to take the gnome's weapon, Ribbles, right?
Yes.
This sort of Gears of War looking saw.
Chainsaw sword.
Yeah. And try and. Was your plan to imbue that, or was it more to like, kind of recreate it or like understand it, or how are you going to go about that, or what was
The
your end
goal
goal?
was to understand it and see how it was made and whatnot.
Okay. Give me a. So this is going to be an intelligence check plus your. Oh, actually, if I do this, I'm not going to use this as like. Okay, good. It didn't roll or anything. That's what I wanted. Go ahead and roll your Tinker's tools in your inventory.
All right.
'Cause that might give you a bit of an idea of what's going on with that. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good stuff. And yeah, this would have been intelligence. That'll be a 26. Okay, so as far as you understand, the more you're looking at it, and Kos sort of gives you his blessing to use the blade and keep it. He's not going to get much use out of it, and he's not going to wait to save it for like reinforcements and stuff. He tells you we've got stores of mundane things that any new protectorates or whatnot can use at the light well. The more you look at this Vazur, it uses some sort of technology regarding a substance called a void crystal, where it's this sort of, how do I say this? Let me try and get this wording right. From what you can tell, there's a substance called a void crystal that can be harnessed in certain ways. It's sort of a almost like a gemstone-like substance that has some unknown magical properties. A lot of what it does is render gravity sort of inert, which is how those sky ships sort of get powered, right? They can sort of subvert gravity, use propulsion in a certain way to move what would usually be water vessels and stuff like that through the air. And it's harnessing some sort of arcane energy and whatever magical properties it has. There's a sort of mining town in the Shattered Lands called Kazgard, where if it was not for this substance, it would just be another place in the desert with a small oasis. And that's where a lot of these crystals are harvested. So you're thinking that it's some combination between that substance and some sort of cylindrical or helixical design of this metalwork that is allowing the sort of energy from the void crystal to sort of circulate that sort of sawtooth blade as it gets
continuous pull.
Yeah.
I like it.
Maybe not continuous, but maybe there's some sort of activation that you haven't just figured out yet. But this thing is very well made and very intricate. And you're thinking there's some sort of unknown alchemy between that substance and the construction of this blade. However, to delve deeper, you would have to nearly disassemble it just to see the insides, the inner workings.
Of course, I appreciate you letting me keep this. I promise I won't disrespect it. Merely just observe it. But I was wondering if you wouldn't mind a little payment, for I'm sure you have a lot of rebuilding to do and people to hire. How much do you think you might need to get started?
Oh, I know you're going to take good care of it. I can see you like a kid in one of them candy stores. But we don't need no repayment. This is sort of a one of them government funded type thing, so it ain't out of pocket, you hear?
Well, thank you then. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
For everything.
Oh, I got you. he goes back to stirring his gumbo, cutting up some andouille sausage, listening to steel guitar riffs. So Reinhold, what do you continue with?
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I was going to ask you if the fangs meant anything. I don't remember, as Darren, I don't remember if that was something we had discussed.
not necessarily. I mean, it's reminiscent, or perhaps derivative of the fangs you saw on the vampiric warlock, right? There's some
Right.
there's some denoting there. But no, as far as ties to that organization from your past, no, there's no knowledge that you have of that.
Okay. Well, I will just ask then. I'll be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure what you're showing me. I have a suspicion, but I can't confirm it.
Well, I'll fill in the blanks if you want to get started.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Well, what do you think? I'll add to your assumptions.
I think there's two possibilities. One I've already kind of dismissed, but nonetheless, the vampire I had mentioned earlier may have come into contact with you, possibly bitten you. Two, this is symbolic of something to do with the syndicate, and possibly a message to me.
You're not that far off. This particular monstrosity that you came across and that you had us look out for, that monstrosity is my charge to remove from this world. It's what I've been doing to start to gain freedom from this affliction that I have. Freedom bought in the form of trophies of other such maladies. That night that I went missing, I found out from an anonymous tip, which, when he starts to think about it, he asks if it was you, and you don't know what he's talking about. And he says, I got a tip that there was a price on my head regarding the syndicate. Nothing unusual, I suppose, but while I was making my travels out of town, I got jumped and one of those bastards sunk his teeth into me. I thought he was just crazy or it was some intimidation tactic, but I was tied up and sort of held into a wheelbarrow, knocked unconscious for a bit, or maybe I lost consciousness, I'm not sure. Hit a particularly bumpy trail outside of town, and was able to slip my bindings and make my way out, do what I could. Took one down, wounded another, and sprinted as far as I could away from home. That's all I really remember about that night, but all I've been since then is thirsty and unsatiated. I don't really have the words to describe how you know that you are thirsting for a substance that's inside other people, but blood is what I was hungry for. So that night, the night after I was taken and kidnapped, I was able to find a small hare out in the woods, fashioned a small spear to take it out, figured I'd cook myself some dinner for the evening, and ended up just gorging myself on its insides, raw. And it's the one thing that hadn't kept me hungry since then, those sorts of meals. He sort of seems sort of disgusted by it, and as he's saying all this, you're sort of looking at him up and down, and you do see like very faint red stains on the inside of his mouth and on his teeth, where the sort of inkiness from blood has taken its toll over the years.
How long ago was this, Drew?
He disappeared about 5 years ago, like right before Attorney. It was like probably 2 or 3 days, like less than a week before Attorney was scheduled to take place, that he was going to ride in and joust in. And he didn't. You had lost track of him for a couple days, and it was getting to the day of the tourney, and he just never showed up to his tent where all his stuff was waiting.
And you've managed to keep this a secret for 5 years?
I haven't had a lot of contact for the past 5 years. That's why I usually spend time away from the Lightwell, out in the boonies, so to speak. A lot of wild game out there. I haven't had to feast on a person with arms and legs who was living, but I did come across somebody who perished on one of the roads around here, Rockslide, I think, and it functioned all the same.
See, Drew,
Hmm?
I would like to know what Reinhold knows about vampires and vampirism.
Sure. Man, give me a history check. 14?
14,
Okay.
not bad.
So as far as actual like vampires, a lot of the non-mundane stuff that they can do is, shapeshift into certain creatures, right? That mist that was in the dining hall of the Lightwell, that was some sort of vampiric creature. They can, canonically shapeshift into bats. Some of them can even summon bats. They can turn sort of ethereal in a certain sense, and sort of have this sort of magical escape. Another thing is sort of this hyper magical regeneration that you understand. Beyond that, as far as vampirism, that idea of turning into something like that, you've really only ever heard of probably in like kids' tales or scary stories around the campfire. But you wouldn't be surprised if somebody could be afflicted by a bite or a venom from said bite or something like that. Some sort of reaction in the body.
And let's just say those kids' stories have an ounce of truth to them. What would the kids' stories say about somebody finding a cure for that?
those stories don't often end.
Happily.
Well, they don't end with but after the vampire had his way, the person could have got a cure from an apothecary, right? You're not too sure. From what it sounds like, Urian has been hunting those types of creatures and bringing trophies to some sort of third party who has told him he can gain his his old self back.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I might have misunderstood the direction of that conversation then. Okay.
That's what he was referencing when he talked about gaining his freedom in the form of trophies.
I think I was scrolling through a message of
I got
yours in Discord.
No worries.
Alright, so are you able to tell me who you bring these trophies to?
I would be comfortable telling you if I didn't think that it's possible that this benefactor would probably want to remain nameless.
Benefactor is an interesting choice.
I am, in a way, paying for a service.
Sounds to me like you're being strong-armed into doing work with the hope that you'll find a cure for your malady.
It isn't necessarily a wrong way of thinking of it. But I would, using your analogy, I would reference not a strong arm, if you will, but perhaps a kindred action. The person who is helping me has a similar affliction.
I see.
That used to be a bit worse.
I'm sure there are holy healers that could help you. Have you sought out any of them?
He looks over his shoulder at Kovat and says, I've met a lot of priests in my time, and it's hard to bring up what is going on without raising alarm bells. But I have seen Kovat do many a trick with his magics, and I've known him for quite a while now, and have been able to get into conversations such as that where I could lead down that path, and everything I've heard doesn't make me think it would work.
Perhaps maybe you sought a result in the arcane.
In ways, yes, but there hasn't been anything I've heard of or found, and than many people that have traveled here time and time again that would set me down that path.
And this is Darren to Drew. Did he expound on how this comes back to the Syndicate, or was it just because the Syndicate was the one who, or were the ones who did this?
You know, he'll sort of catch up with you and shoot the shit for a bit, but the last thing of like substance he says about that is he says it's very foggy that night, right? The recollection of him getting
Mhm.
kidnapped. But he says the only name I got from the three men who took me was Emery. And it sounded like the two men, one who I gutted and the other who I just slashed so I could get out of there about time, were answering to Emery in a hierarchical fashion. But he wasn't escorting the wheelbarrow dragged by a donkey along with them. I think if he was there, he could have taken me down easily. So I don't think he stayed to watch the grunts take me back to wherever they were going to take me. But that's the only name I got was Emery. I just wanted to be honest with you about what happened all those years ago.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, Urian, but this is troubling, to say the least. We need to find you help. Something more concrete than an anonymous benefactor who only has the promise of helping you.
I don't mind trusting a promise. I think there's a lot in this world that could be gained by trusting promises, but I don't think a lot of people trust others to begin with. I don't know. I'm usually a pretty good judge on these things. Anyways, it's actually funny. First time I visited here, and he sort of steps back and looks at the whole big, huge building. I found a little tiny rat or something. First time I visited and stepped away from this amateur tour that that I was being taken on, and I was able to snag this rat, and I don't know what it was about it, but I needed a bit of sustenance and did my part, sunk my teeth into it, and this creature just would not die.
The rat?
Yeah. I don't know what that means. But I mean this thing should not have kept on. I don't know. I didn't really have time to think about it. I didn't want questions getting asked if one of the guides came back and tried to find me. So I just kept going.
Where will you go from here? Are you going to stay? Go back to your home? I mean,
I might make it back to the mainland in due time. I still have business here, and I like protecting Faline. I like bullshitting with Kavat. I don't know. I've become a bit antisocial, but it's good seeing them every few weeks, every month or so when they travel here. It's good to be out in nature. I didn't realize it's something I wanted, I suppose, but I haven't missed sleeping in a bed chamber with a tended fire, and I haven't missed my chamber pot getting cleaned every day. It's been more beneficial being independent, I suppose.
Is there anything I can do to help you, Urian?
I'm sure there could be. I know you're resourceful, but I'm not asking for anyone's help. I've gone down this path, and I'm trusting my gut. And if it leads me to getting a cure, then it's fine. If it doesn't, then I'll just have to say I'm not hungry every time I go to a dinner party, I suppose.
Is there a way I can reach you if I can help you in some way?
I'm sure. Yeah, I saw you coming on that sky ship. You should have plenty of room on there to visit, I suppose. Carry you and your ego, right?
Well, unfortunately, that's only a rental.
Oh.
Can't keep that one.
Well, maybe we'll see some more vessels pass through here now that you guys did what you did.
Here's hoping. I'm
Yeah.
praying that everything is sorted out here and we can move on. If I do find something, I will do my best to pass along a message to you. And
Sure.
thank you for the information and your honesty.
I'll swindle one of those pouches from Faline next time she restocks.
Well, I mean, if you're strapped for gold, I mean, I can help you.
Oh no. I half the time I don't take payment. I just I'll take an item here or there, or a good bit of raw meat, as it were.
Right.
Other goods. Sometimes I'll take the gold, but not much use for it out on the homestead.
And Yuri and I don't want this to come out sounding worse than it is, but if things go worse, I have a duty, and I will uphold it.
The way you started that, I thought you were going to say, hey, Yuri, I don't think any less of you.
No, I don't.
Oh, good. Because, I've got the fucking teeth that can drain your blood and shit.
Well, I've got the power of God on my side, so...
Yeah, well, I used to...
Tit for tat.
Yeah, okay. Well, I had an imaginary friend once, but I was like 6, so...
Okay.
Based.
And he just bullshits with you for a while and keeps smoking his pipe. Eventually, he'll just kind of go off and do his own thing. He'll
All right,
Fleetwood
I'll
Mac
let him
it.
be.
He'll go his own way.
Drew.
Yeah.
Do I remember this Emery?
That is not a name you have heard of.
Shit.
Might be new school or new kid on the block. Could be partnered on the block.
Oh no, new Reinhold.
He's better.
What's bigger than a troll? Emery Giantsbane.
They've got a cave troll. So,
Dire trolls.
sorry,
Bane.
Mr. Bean, we need to take that again. Was that not the right inflection? No.
No.
Embra, Phoenix will walk over to you after conversing with the sisters for a bit and actually partaking in the food that Kos has made. And he'll walk over to you and hand you a bowl of like spicy gumbo. It seems, and he's got a wooden spoon already in it, and he'll hand it over to you and start to eat with you and chat. And he'll say, you look well. Minimal scratches.
Yeah, didn't get beat up too bad.
No, I
But
imagine you finally figured out how to hit the fucking target, huh?
yeah, eventually.
No, all those years you missed me and the other guys. I mean, had to hit one eventually.
That's true.
I hate to admit it, but obviously, I've been decently protective of you, and I mean, I guess of the guys as well. But I genuinely think you found some good people, and I don't like saying that because I don't often like to show people that I have feelings. Maybe it is part of the idea that I am a sort of ambassador for the family and whatnot. But nonetheless, you did good.
I appreciate it.
I talked to Fume while you guys were inside. I can't remember the last time you saw him, but he met a girl. I think they're engaged as of about a month ago. And he wanted me to tell you that you should have a wedding invite coming shortly.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I'll show up if I'm able to make it. I'm not dead yet.
Well, I certainly hope you won't be, because he wants you there, along with me and Singe, standing by him as he ties the knot, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll figure out a way to make it. The question is, when are you getting married?
I mean, listen, I have my fair share of fun out on the road doing the family business, and part of that is remaining unattached if something comes up where my namesake might be beneficial to the family. It's not necessarily what I hoped for. I would have liked to have somewhat settled down by now, but if I have to save myself for the betterment of the family, so the next 6-7 generations of us, have a good future without needing to work too hard for it, then it's what I gotta do. But I keep myself happy.
What? Lord, can't talk. Well, you should put yourself first. I mean, the family's a big deal, but, the oldest brother should be the one getting married first.
The older brother has a hard time trusting the dour sense of other people. But I understand, and I don't want you to think that I am alone. Rather, I'm by myself, and that's very different from alone. And I am happy with the space and freedom that I am provided. But if I truly meet somebody who I would be willing to burn down the sun for, you best believe that I would do everything in my power to do that and take advantage of it. He nods over to Riven while he's doing his meditation, and he says, "You gonna take that slippery fuck as your +1?"
Probably, but we'll see.
Can't imagine him in a tuxedo.
Why did you call him slippery?
Yeah, he's fucking spinning and dancing all over the place, and I mean, when we were on the airship, he would walk by me, and I wouldn't even fucking hear his footsteps. I mean, I could have been talking shit about him at any second. I wouldn't have known until he goddamn slit my throat.
Well, would you prefer that I hang out with anybody else?
I'd like to imagine my sister as always alone and safe in a room somewhere, but, you know, you're out on the trail fighting shit all day.
Well, it's better than, being the one that's got to carry the family and smoking all day.
I mean, listen, I show up to guild halls with nothing but a smile and a name, and I immediately get fed roasted lamb and, garlic potatoes and all this sort. And it's not something I would, tend to complain about.
Well, yeah, but you're also scary. So I don't think anybody's going to deny you anything.
That's part of the point. I mean, I didn't choose to be born the way I am, right? But, size and handsomeness aside, it's what I use to get what the family needs. It's why we don't have to fucking pay half the time we go to 5-star restaurants and all that shit. It's the illusion that we're important more than anything else. Not to
That's fair.
undermine what Dad and Mom have worked to build, but it's, I don't know. It's all fucking made up. Pieces of metal with little stampings on it telling people how much something's worth, so we could use that to buy bread so we're not fucking killing each other. It's all made up. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but, the last name definitely comes with its advantages. Either way.
You still brothel hopping on the road?
I only did once.
Oh, that's, certainly down from your younger numbers.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf.
Well, just keep a healthy supply of alchemical ointments and you'll be fine, Like I taught you, learn from the best.
That's fair.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have just begun to break down that fucking wall that is Jeleneth. Almost made her smirk once, so I think we're getting somewhere.
Oh, good luck. They both scare me.
Whistler.
I mean, kind of into that.
Ew, no.
He this whole time he's been not really making eye contact. He's been sort of just kind of bullshitting, talking at you, but not, like looking at you. And when you say that, he like looks into your eyes and he says, "Really? Near identical twin sisters who look like that."
You know what? No, I'm leaving.
Twins, Basil. Twins.
Oh no. So he takes his bowl and saunters over to the ladies.
Ladies.
I can't move myself at the moment, but I would just move over Scales and just be like, I'm gonna hang out with Scales, because nope. Does Scales eat?
Nope.
He munches on things, but I wouldn't call it eating. It's more like playing with them.
So like if I gave him some of the like gumbo, he probably wouldn't eat it.
He does that thing where he puts his mouth under it and tries to blow bubbles.
Aww.
Spicy bubbles.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, Scales, I'm going to have to polish that out of you later. It's getting all your cracks.
A lot of tomato in there.
Have fun, buddy. You deserve it.
I almost feel like I'm sorry. I figured I would try to feed him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was Kovat the one who returned my intelligence last time?
Yeah.
Sir, get down! Sir, get down!
They hit the light well.
Oh no. So there's been a second Aranoff, whatever the fuck it was called. Kovat, I wanted to, again, thank you. Without your assistance, I would still probably be a mindless little lizard. So I was hoping you would at least take this 100 platinum pieces.
He's shoveling gumbo into his mouth, and when you say that, he moves the spoon towards his mouth but turns his face and smears like a bunch of like the rice and sauce on his cheek and in his beard, and he like brushes it off with his sleeve and says, you and your friend have a passion for paying for services that were not charged to you. I wish all of Feline's customers were like this.
I know you didn't ask for it, but truthfully, I would feel terrible knowing that such a kindness went unrewarded, especially one that means seriously very much to me. I don't know what I would have done if I were stuck like that for any longer. Not to mention how long it could have been. I do not know.
Oh, goodness. I mean, it will not go to waste. I will use this wealth for many a thing. Mostly to further my studies and continue to improve. Yes, please. I thank you.
You just bought him a level up.
Yeah, hey yo.
Yeah, I've marked off 100 platinum pieces.
Okay, cool.
I'm sure you will help many people in the future as well.
It will certainly go towards that. That will definitely be the end result. Thank you.
Thinking about his mansion that he's going to buy now.
He's like, oh fuck.
How can I buy the light well on late back taxes? Government property. What have they paid? Perhaps a land bank, if you will. Okay. Yeah,
that's it.
He's all jittery, and you can tell it this probably raised his cortisone levels more than like anything in recent months. So.
I would like to briefly speak with Kos.
Sure.
Well,
man.
I wish it wasn't brief, but...
Oh, okay.
No, Kos, do you have a free moment?
Yeah, I got you.
The damage to the light well is quite extensive. Is repair going to be possible? Structurally, I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, they got a hell of a lot of new techniques since I was laying brick. But, yeah, no, I'm sure it'll be all right. Take some time, yeah. It'll be all right.
Is there any way I could contribute to the repair of the light well? I would like to see something like this up and running as soon as possible.
You been paying your taxes?
I will look at the holy symbol of Tosh and then back at him. Yes, I've been paying my taxes. And then I'll think about it in my head. I'm like, shit, where's the fantasy IRS?
Yeah, you're like, shit. What did I claim this year?
Is Vazur considered a dependent?
It's like, oh no, the filing deadline was on the 15th of Zashan. It's the
Oh!
22nd.
I missed the file. I'll have to file an extension, and oh man.
You think of the old adage, always file before Zashanmas. Uh, he says, as long as you've been doing that, I mean, we'll get the cash eventually. Remember, I mean, stuff like this, yes, it will take some time and ain't gonna be overnight, but the money will the money will follow itself here.
Would you accept a donation? I mean, it'd probably help the craftsmen and masons just to get out here faster.
Tell you what, I will accept the donation, and every time we get any laborers that come along with this traveling caravan of traders and whatnot, I'll flash some of those pieces of coin at them to get them to work. At least starting with the cleanup.
All right. Well, then I'll give him. Drew, how much does a mason make in a year?
Oh, fuck me.
I'm just kidding. I'll give him 200 platinum.
Okay,
Oh my god, Jesus.
Y'all going crazy.
Well, it
That's
says
why I'm not
money.
that's why I'm not talking to any NPCs. I'm not giving them money. Yikes. I'm surprised Embra wasn't like, oh, here you go, Phoenix. Here's 300 platinum.
He's got enough money. He should be
I was
getting
gonna say, he's fucking stacked.
Yeah,
He's got gold
smart.
out the ass.
Smart Embra be like, nah, I'm not gonna. I just got this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't donate to the guy who just lost all of his coworkers and friends.
It's not your job to pay him employee death reparations.
It's not my
Wow.
job, no, but I
Who
can
runs
see
the Lightwell?
I can see a grieving man in need of cash.
We found the insurance company representative, and it's Riven.
I want to speak to the manager right now.
Was how? You know what? I need you to file an itemized report of every
Yeah.
every single piece of damage.
Fill it out down to the last detail, and you better get it right, because even if it is, we're gonna deny it.
I
Yes.
desireth in triplicate.
Yeah.
No, I'll give him 200 platinum though. I already marked it off.
Okay. That is. Yep. I saw that. Noted. Okay. That definitely works. Riven, anything in your newfound breath of meditative energy that you would like to share with me or the class?
Let's see. I'd actually like to talk to Colette if I could after a little bit of meditation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me just slide over there.
Phoenix looks at you like,
Counter Riz.
like a crow encroaching on his crops.
I see. I'm assuming, are they like both like paying attention to him?
I mean, Colette a bit less, because she's sort of an airhead when it comes to social cues in certain stages.
God.
Yeah.
She just like me for real. But I will
Last
sort
name,
of
her mother's maiden name was Vernier.
Oh
Oh
God.
man.
Oh, her dad's part of the fantasy IRS.
No, her dad was a barrister.
I hate that. That's why both of them are thievish. But anyway, so I will sort of approach and say, Colette, do you have a moment? If I could, I guess, speak to you.
Sure. Have you tried the soup, the gumbo?
I look over. Oh, no, not yet.
She'll hold out her bowl.
Oh, sure. I'll sort of just take the spoon, grab a bite of it. Oh, it's pretty good. I admit I have had seafood before, but not with any bit of spice in it.
Yeah, it's quite good. Anyways, yeah. What do you want to know?
I had just a sort of quick question about your clerical powers.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I don't think any of us have asked this question before, but to which deity do you devote your clerical worship?
Oh, let me check my character sheet.
Oh, okay.
I follow the matron mother, the Fate Blade.
Oh. I suppose that makes sense. Now, obviously you've been at it, at least at the sort of clerical powers, at least for a decent bit. You are rather experienced at them, having brought, well, me back twice, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
So I just wanted to ask, sort of, I guess, do you have like a daily ritual or anything you sort of do uh for that sort of process? I admit I'm a little bit, I'm rather curious on sort of how uh clerics who are actually invested power in, sort of, I guess, how does it feel, or how did you gain such an ability?
Oh, I always thought that I was a bit different, I suppose, than other kids. And one night I just found this old, sort of dusty tome in a library that was sort of like a localized history of this region that I grew up in. It detailed an old cemetery and a temple there that used to be dedicated to the Fate Blade before it just got overgrown and abandoned. Once the cemetery filled up, they just sort of moved on, and maintenance was not kept up, and it was sort of hidden away in this thicket. And it used to be a place that I would go, just to sort of relax and be out in nature. And after one winter, I went back, and one of the mausoleums had been a bit crumbled and whatnot, and under that place I found a small passageway that I was able to light myself down, and inside I found a temple. And when I touched the dais, I heard a voice. And ever since then, I just could do these little things. I could create light with my hands. I could, move objects, here and there, and I could do all these little maneuvers to alter the world around me. And ever since then, I just have grown with what I could do.
I see. Also, apologies, while you were telling that story, I ate a decent bit of your gumbo.
Yeah, you seem hungry, and I imagine you should be. She will sort of, that lean you do when you're trying to hold a door open with your foot and throw something away in a trash can that's like a couple feet away. So you don't have to reopen the door. So she's doing that, but she's getting you another small bowl of gumbo and one for herself. So she's not like, she's trying to
like stay in the conversation with one foot.
Yeah, she's trying to. You give me an insight check, actually.
You know what? Sure. Insight.
Okay, yeah. You think it's been a long time since someone's actually asked her these questions and shown an interest, than just sort of assumed parts of her story and used her as like a service. Which is what she was sort of conscripted to do back at the Wildwood Barracks.
As I sort of absentmindedly take another bite or two of the gumbo, I'll say, well, that's almost whimsical, I guess. Not sorry, not like to say like fanciful, but what's the word I'm looking for? Almost sort of akin to sort of like a fairy tale.
Oh, I guess I hadn't thought of it like that. I can see how you would think that.
So I guess when you sort of utilize this power of yours, I guess what do you feel when you create the light or move things or alter the world?
Yeah, I guess I feel I feel a sense of like a ritual ending its, like completing a ritual, or like finishing the last piece of a line work on a drawing that I'm doing. It feels like I'm completing a circle that it was begging to be finished, to be complete.
Almost like a swell of accomplishment, like a task being done.
I think so.
Although I guess your description almost adds a touch of sort of an artistic pride to it, almost.
I think so. I try to think of it like I'm plucking an instrument, but I don't. But it's invisible and I don't see it. And if I did it right, I get some sort of visual or auditory result. And doing that from a younger age, when I was just learning, or I could just do trivial things, it would always be a new sound, I suppose.
My mentor, Horus, you might have met him briefly. When I was learning swordplay under him, he had described, he had told me that I was to learn a bit of calligraphy. He had said that, at least as he had learned it himself, that each sword stroke was similar to a brush on a canvas. You couldn't take it back once it was done, but for a while, had never sort of understood how, I guess, combat and art were mixed, or at least related. But it's an interesting thing to think of.
That's wonderful. I used to be pretty of an artistic mind when I was a child, and I would do these drawings and whatnot. And eventually, for a brief time, I met a close friend of mine and learned the art of tattooing from them. And I would fiddle for hours over these, pencil drawings, and it got to the point where he just took the pencil out of my hand and gave me a metal pen and dipped it in ink, and he just said, "Fuck it, just draw. You don't get a second chance."
You drew a tattoo on your friend?
No, it was more the idea of I was practicing designs, and I would fiddle and try to be a perfectionist of these pencil drawings for hours on end. And until
I see. Metal pen is in you can't erase it.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, that's a similar sort of thing. Interesting. Huh.
She actually she'll point out she points out some of the what do you call it? Like the tattoos that she did do on herself, and you see her arms are pretty much covered with tattoos that almost look like if she was wearing like fishnets on her arms, but also sort of melded with like I don't know. It looks like she does have some like brush strokes on her arms, like unfinished like line work that might eventually lead to a further drawing. But flanking those on either side, you see like this fishnet sort of design that swirls up her arms, and she says that she did those herself and some of that.
I'll give a small sort of almost head nod and say the craftsmanship on those is rather well done.
Yeah, it's a never-ending project.
Maybe if we survive the next coming weeks, I'll have to commission a tattoo.
Oh, what would you get? What do you think your friends would get?
Oh, I think about it. I feel like Vazur would get a giant pair of like sharp teeth somewhere, like on his chest or something.
See, I thought he'd get like a wrench or something.
I guess I've seen him do things both incredibly complex as well as incredibly violent, so I suppose he'd go either way. I think Reinhold would probably get the Tosh sun symbol probably on like a bicep or something. Would tattoos work on a fire genasi? Like regular ink?
She thinks about it and she says, I've never tattooed one, but Phoenix has got some around his like neck.
Those are tattoos.
Yeah, I think so. She looks at it again. It's like a bit faded, but yeah.
Yeah, I kind of crane my neck over around the two, just kind of look at it for a sec. I thought those were like burn marks.
Oh.
Bigot.
Well, hold on. I love flipped token Reinhold being like bigot.
Sorry about that.
The pure energy. Oh, but
hold on. Scales nods in solitude.
Does Embra hear the conversation about tattoos?
Probably not the conversation, but if you're half paying attention, you'll see Colette is like pointing hers out and then looking at Phoenix and referencing the neck. Yeah.
This is where Embra shows us like she has a full scale phoenix tattooed on her back, like the bird.
Oh, I thought you meant just like Phoenix's face.
Yup. she's got her brother's portrait tattooed on her back.
It's like a warning.
Yeah. It's like a pinup portrait and everything is the same, but it's Phoenix's head and face.
It's just a threatening look to anyone who would see her back. It's like, what are you doing, bud?
Think twice.
No, but what would you get?
Oh, I imagine Riven just completely blanks for a solid couple of seconds. I don't know.
You know, I had one client whose father passed away, and instead of getting like name or initials, I guess the man was a butcher, so his son got a butcher's knife.
That seems a little threatening, don't you think?
I'm sure it appeared threatening, but it was veiled in love, I suppose.
I mean, my life's work has been, traveling the land and sort of...
You could get a cart. Or a horse. Or like one of those elks.
Elks? No, probably not. Not a lot of elks in my area in Knight's Reach. They usually got eaten.
Did you get like a
I guess
road sign?
where would it point?
I guess it depends on what way you're looking at it, right?
Like I wouldn't want it to be, say, like pointing a certain direction and like say something and people sort of like assume something. I guess I wouldn't know.
Can Reinhold hear this conversation?
No, if Embra can't hear,
I like the idea that Embra and Reinhold are straining.
I was gonna say Embra's just gonna saunter over after noticing them staring at Phoenix.
But I'd probably have to get back to you on that, honestly. I don't think I've done much that warrants a tattoo yet.
You know, we used to have a book in the shop that I worked at of nothing but just tattoo ideas that we haven't done that we wanted to do. And when we did it, we just took it out of the book so nobody would have an identical one. The one I never got to do was a wizard putting out a burning building.
That seems intricate.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was like a wizard. It would have been, if you're imagining it from behind, it would be the back of a wizard moving water around the air and like a house on fire in the background.
I'm imagining another wizard that I used to know. Well, I guess he wasn't a wizard, though.
That
I
you
was about
used to know.
Now you're just a wizard that I used to know. Elman?
Some wizard.
Oh.
Hey, Drew.
Yes.
Can you move Embra?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, Drew.
Dun, 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 dun.
No.
Oh,
I was gonna ask.
oh.
I was gonna ask. When their conversation is finished, if I could speak with Embra and Phoenix.
Oh yeah, obviously.
I'll just kind of saunter over and be like, "Why you guys looking at Phoenix? What happened? Tell me."
I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest. I thought those marks around his like neck and shoulder area were like burn marks.
No. Why would you think that?
You guys are like made of fire.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we're Endeavor's children.
Oh, stop that. But
those are definitely tattoos.
But as Reinhold and Embra sort of go up, I'll give almost like a small bow to Colette and just say, "Thank you for answering my questions, Colette, and the conversation afterwards. I appreciate all of it."
Of course.
Reinhold
grab some
yawns.
more gonna go grab some more gumbo. He made a giant pot.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I gave some of the scales.
Is Phoenix engrossed in his rizzing of Jelenoth?
Attempting to engross in rizzing.
I was about to say, Embra starts to walk up too, and Phoenix is like, "Come on, please."
Yeah.
No, Embra's got this. I just kind of like walk up to Phoenix. I'm like, "Big brother."
Little
And then
sister and holy boy roll up.
give him a hug, and I'm like, "What you doing?"
Sharing war stories.
I have war stories.
Oh, I bet. That's always been true, in fact.
Yikes.
Which one is he talking to?
He's talking to Jelenoth.
I look at Jelenoth and be like, "Hello, I don't think we've actually spoken to each other."
No, but I did hear you one room over, one night, a while ago, while I was conversing with your friend Reinhold here.
Well, I'm glad we got to know each other.
Yes, indeed.
Look at Phoenix and I'm like, I didn't do anything.
Reinhold's gonna scratch his head because he's confused by the direction of this conversation. Phoenix, Embra, if I could ask you a question.
What's up?
I don't mean this to have any implications, but does your family deal with any criminal organizations? Whether positively or negatively?
I just look at Phoenix. I don't know, I'm the baby.
I suppose it depends on what you consider criminal.
Breaking the law?
Dealt with the King's Council for a while. There's
Oh,
not one
right. Fair enough.
not one fucking innocent person there.
Fair enough. I suppose I meant more like bandits or assassins.
Evil doers.
Local shit? No. We deal with the high rollers.
Gotcha. So the Scarlet Syndicate's never come across your ledgers?
Shit name. Nope.
Wow.
That's Phoenix saying that. Like, that's...
I know.
not original. No. It's like the Red Riders or something. Like, no. No, it's usually like company names.
Right. I figured as much, but just in case, I wasn't exactly sure how...
Like Enron.
So worse than bandits.
Just ever so slightly. Eco-terrorists, it's no big deal.
Right. I wasn't sure what the breadth of your business was and how far or high it went, so I just wanted to ask.
I could try and, no. Look, I can try and figure some shit out for you, but it's, it won't take a lot of manpower. It just might take some time if they're, small like that.
Could you possibly look into a specific person?
Person would definitely take more time. I suppose.
All right. It's a person named Emery in the Scarlet Syndicate. That's all I've got.
And where do these incredible, nefarious creatures dwell?
They probably still make their home somewhere in the Noble Lands.
Okay.
But that's subject to change. They probably roam a bit.
Oh. I can start with that. What type of background you looking for?
Anything and everything. If you can even get me a approximate location, that would be even better.
And if a location isn't viable, he will sort of turn his back away from the others for a moment, and whisper to you. Dead or alive?
Oh.
That's what you asked.
Alive. I'm not trying to hunt him, them, they. I just have questions.
We've gotten a lot smarter about doing things like this. We as in living, breathing beings who can choose to interrogate if they so choose. It's probably better if you weren't in the room when you're asking these questions, but I can get to you face to face without you being there, if that's something that might entice you.
This is more of a personal matter regarding one of my friends, so I'd like to be there.
What's more personal than the idea that you can have the power to have somebody's throat slit while you're thousands of miles away?
Their throat being slit does me no good. And the questions I have, I don't even know them yet. So an interrogation, it would have to progress naturally with me there in person, because I don't know what I need to ask yet.
Phoenix kind of sees the path you're taking and understands your reasoning. Just nods. Give me a month.
That's it? That's much shorter than I was expecting.
Phoenix is very.
Our tendrils go far.
And what would something like this cost me?
You've kept my sister alive, so first one's free.
But normally it would cost me...
More.
Right.
Considerably.
He's got you there.
Right. You know what? I'll accept the gracious freebie on this one.
It's only a month because they're local or maybe even regional. Now, if I find that these people might be bigger than we thought, sure, maybe some charges might be levied and taxed.
I'm sure it's... Yes, it can fluctuate, of course.
But no, if you only have so much information, then regardless of their size, there might only be so many paths we can go down. So,
and
anything you have, it does help.
If I could make a, well, maybe it's not a small request, but a request for the agents that you plan to send out or use, avoid contacting them directly, any of them. I don't want them to get wise and uproot themselves.
I can understand that. If it gets to a point where the only way to get the knowledge that you're looking for is for one of them to go a bit deeper, undercover, so to speak, might not have a choice in that department.
At that point, I would defer to your judgment. If you trust in the skills of your people, then do what's needed. But if it's not needed to go in direct contact, then that would be preferred.
Part of it is skill, sure, but part of it is what they get fucking paid to do. They know what they signed up for. And if I have to tell a wife and child that their husband isn't coming home, they knew the risks. They don't fuck around.
I had a question, but I can't remember it.
I have that effect. Makes negotiating with these other noble families so fucking easy.
I can imagine. If you're not available, will you be able to reach out to us to let us know, or let me know?
Yeah, I've got your pouch.
Okay. Oh, and one last thing, and I'm sure in your line of work this is common, or in their line of work at least, but don't mention my name.
Didn't need to be said, I assure you that.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Phoenix. I appreciate this.
Of course.
I will reach out a hand to shake his if he accepts.
Alright, he'll scoop up his gumbo and continue trying to chat up Jeleneth, hoping that Embra hasn't done too much damage in those couple minutes where he took
Doesn't
to
shake
the side.
your hand.
My plan's working.
Ember,
I'm cock blocking Phoenix.
Ember will continue cock blocking.
It was a joint operation. I was the distraction. Embra was the
It's too bad that literally nothing
operator.
can stop the unstoppable tide of this absolute riz of this man.
He is rizzed up to the nines.
Ember's telling embarrassing stories.
Oh no.
Oh, of course. Is there one in particular that you can think of that you would want to bring up?
And then he burped up fire.
Dropping toddler Embra into a pool of water.
Oh, to like heat up his bath or something?
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, that tracks.
I was gonna say mention the countless people he's probably killed, but I feel like she's okay with that. Like, yeah, we all do it. It's no
It
big
happens.
deal.
Yeah.
That's fair.
When was that skyship? When was that skyship supposed to come back?
Well, actually, it's more of a... So, Riven, when you were off, walking to find a place to meditate, you could look over the cliffside, and you could see... you could see Elber from a very long distance, but probably the only creature that you could see on such a ship from that far, being the Goliath or whatever that he is, the half-giant sort of, I think that's that dot that's moving around the ship down there. So it is staying docked. Now, sorry to lighten the mood, but eventually you will owe the sky or the granule, which is the Skyship Guild, 10,000 gold pieces. Oh yeah, that's still a thing. I know it's been like 3-4 months probably since that session.
Forgot. You're
Yeah.
right. Oh,
Yeah, we told them we had to pay them.
Yeah.
Oh, Riven, pay the man.
And that was just your group. So for the other groups, they're somehow finding the cash to pay. But they'll figure it out. It's not your problem. It's their problem.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, I'm making it my problem. How much do they owe?
All
Man.
groups?
Everybody.
Okay.
What's the total?
So you guys owed 10 grand total because of the
My
distance
God.
you guys traveled.
Imagine.
This is real life, dude. Got these bills I can't pay.
Let me just double check. The group that was going to the Archmage in Elderborn Forest, that was 7,500. And then it was
those other groups. I thought you were talking about like Kavat and all of them.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I don't give a shit about them. They're all fucking
Wow.
millionaires or something.
Sure.
What?
Not really, but yeah, the total bill is probably 27,500.
Oh my God.
One
Do
at
they
10
accept?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do they accept payment plans? Can we work something out here?
We had to pay them the full amount,
yeah.
or they shatter my kneecaps.
Like Ethereum or some shit. I don't know.
Ew.
Yeah, they'll. It's not necessarily payment plan, but it's
a
more
joke.
like
The plan is to pay them.
Yeah, of course we accept payment plans. You pay us, and that's it.
And you're
we
done.
Provide the service. Yeah.
We plan for you to pay us at the end.
Riven, pay them.
Well, like everyone else, I gave all my money to the first person I talked to. Shit.
That's not true. That was the third person I talked to.
I mean, you could also, for 10 times what you're paying for your trip alone, you could buy a skyship.
Oh,
Hold on.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, that was in unison.
10,000 gold.
So 40,000?
100,000 gold.
No,
No,
100,000?
No, 100,000.
Sorry, I don't know why. I don't know
So
why.
that would be 10,000 platinum.
Yeah.
10,000 platinum.
You guys don't have that.
I don't have that.
No. You guys
Now,
total before giving any money away.
we take a loan.
I want you know what? I want
Yeah.
the High Zalbrin to report his salary.
Oh, sure. Of course
I need his tax returns.
It's probably public record.
Oh, we're gonna find
so
out.
we want to access that.
Yeah.
Reinhold can find that out. He's got guys on the inside.
From this
A small loan of 3 million wizard dollars.
From this one incursion at the light well and the trove that you guys find, before giving any money away, the currency alone was about 68,000.
We were so close. We should have just saved it.
Well, I don't know, about 68% of the way there is not necessarily being
We had to pull
close.
ourselves up by our greave straps.
It's closer.
Boots are a thing, E.
Yeah, but it's
Boots didn't get invented until after the fantasy medieval times.
But
It was long after the carriage.
The boot came after the carriage. Okay, well, so we owe 10,000. Is our damage
10,000 platinum pieces?
No.
10,000 platinum.
10,000 gold.
So 1k platinum.
It'd be 10,000 platinum to buy an airship.
Did Krane take a cut?
Yeah, it's split automatically.
Oh, so we can easily afford that.
So 2,000 between.
Yeah, we
2,000 gold each.
2,000 gold, yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw in 2,000 gold.
All right, I'll throw in 2,000 gold as well.
I'll throw in 2,000 of someone else's. Are we marking that off right now?
Double it and give it to the next guy.
Done. Riven, you now owe 4,000 gold.
Oh. Yeah, you guys should end up somewhere around 4,000, between like 4,000 and 4,500, I think.
Yeah, I after giving up 2,000 gold, I have 4,235.
4,196.
I didn't touch into the platinum because I wanted to get rid of more coins that way.
Hell yeah. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Drew, when this campaign ends, I want you to make like a Fallout or something type slideshow of the aftermath. And specifically, I want to see the progress of the Lightwell.
Oh, you're talking about the
God,
slideshow.
Yeah, like the end game slideshow.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to make that slideshow.
I
mean,
you
you could.
so much.
You could. I mean,
Well, yeah, if you felt the need to do that, go for it. But I'm not.
See, that's the thing about me. I'm like a stray cat. I rarely feel needs. I just go off of instinct.
That bars, man.
And you know what? When I'm fucked up, I'm the real me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
love whatever that is.
I know that's something I'm supposed to know, but I can't remember what it is.
Man, it's that weekend thing.
Weekend type beat.
By the lights.
The weekend, yeah.
His family is called the Calendar.
I hate that you said that.
You know you love me.
Me too, but I hate that you said that.
It's okay.
Let's get on this Sky Sheep.
Sky Sheep, we're leaving?
I mean, do we have anything? I mean, we solved the problem, right? We won. We beat them. We won D&D.
What about the thing that I unlocked in the place?
The thing you unlocked in the place.
The dude. Yeah.
He gone. We don't gotta worry about him. He left.
Well,
Yep.
he might be nearby.
It's very
We-
object permanence of you. Well, I don't see him. He's gone.
Closer than we think.
Yeah, just like Red's
You
gone. Not a problem.
know nothing, okay?
I understand.
You know nothing.
That was a good one.
No, we did a pretty extensive search, all of us, didn't we? I recall last session because I had mentioned to everybody that there was a vampire.
One of you were dead. So
No. After we had beaten the fishman,
sure.
we did it. We went through and just scoured the whole tower
Scales had the lantern on and everything, just in case.
Yeah,
He did a
And-
tower scour. Yeah, that's right.
we did a tower scour,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there was no vampire. So,
Scales was the best little lantern boy.
well, sorry, there was one vampire, but it wasn't the right one.
Unless.
I doubt it.
Unless
I highly doubt it.
It was
JK.
all a ploy.
Drew, I'm gonna whisper you a question.
Sure.
Adjacent to that,
Where is the vampire?
where is he? It's adjacent to it, but it's just more of a mechanical question.
Okay. Can I roll to kill the vampire?
I'd like to roll the vampire death spell.
Yes.
Power word vampire smite.
So Elber, one of the last things he would have said before you guys left is that he'll need about a day to prep the ship, so you guys can leave tomorrow for sure.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, there's only one skyship like worker left after you guys encountered that crystalline dragon.
I'd offer my help for whatever needs to be done.
Oh sure, it's some of that is yes more hands help, but also it takes time to like charge whatever they're doing.
Oh no,
They're
I
literally
know.
charging their crystals.
I'm charging my crystal. No, I know it's more of a it does take time, but like if it can be helped in any way.
If it can be helped. There's no guarantee.
Unfortunately.
Okay, that's what I thought. So it's not quite as what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like how I like my coffee, like a half and half.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Something like that.
Itchy.
Talking about you, Riven.
What?
Nada. That's all I heard. When you went, what?
I was trying to figure out what you were referencing.
Sorry.
I hate it here.
Red leather, yellow leather.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
It's because you sort
Everybody-
lost by
I look
taste.
forward to these.
So aside from those conversations,
Calling that airship?
yeah, we're calling that airship vibe. So you guys are going to be spending the night here regardless, or you can spend it on the ship if you want to start to say your goodbyes.
Yes,
No.
everybody.
Does any of these people sell stuff?
Yeah.
Faylene does, but she didn't have a whole bunch of stuff.
I would like to just take a look at her inventory again.
Here,
really
I
quick.
will move her to y'alls.
Oh.
She teleports through walls, and she's
Pretty
all-
rad.
To the window.
Yeah, there she is.
Through the walls.
Through the wall.
Sorry.
That was
You know
pretty
what?
good.
I'll come check it out too.
Oh man, retail therapy.
I need it. There's a miner's pick.
It's not
Huh?
18 yet.
Oh,
You're all.
Boo.
Shame.
Boo this man.
Shame.
Ooh, this man. Ooh.
Are you looking at that amulet?
Yes, I am looking at that amulet.
oh yeah. Remember you guys couldn't afford that amulet 12 hours ago.
They're like, where did you come into all this money? It's just trade secret.
Yeah. I just sold some assets.
I would like to buy that amulet.
Oh, that's cool.
Do it.
If she asks me to report on my earnings, I will steadfastly refuse.
Reinhold is actually an agent of the Fantasy IRS, so you'll have to report it to
I
him.
know.
I
what
don't know.
Vazur's into.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait.
You making potions, buddy?
No,
No.
No.
I don't even know if I can do anything with that thing. I'm taking it too.
And that
Hell yeah.
directly took from my inventory. Excellent.
Yeah, that
Eh.
that claw Vazur is like bottled in a vial and
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound
It's
pleasant.
like a pickled claw or something.
Dude, pickle my claw.
I don't suppose any of them are selling a flask, are they?
Vials.
There's an
Vials.
oil flask.
That's true.
Don't we have the magic teapot?
I assume the vials aren't actually free.
You want some tea?
No.
I don't remember what the tea does, though. That's the
Oh,
problem.
it does this. It's a lot.
Oh, perfect.
It's a lot. It's gonna be
Drew, how
random.
much will you charge
Yeah.
me for 5 of the vials, since it says free in there?
Oh, actually, it's because this used to be broken. Let me see if I can update the price. You know what? I'll charge a gold. Okay, so it's still free. So, you know what? It's probably pretty negligible at this point. So go ahead and buy the vials to your heart's content.
What do the teas do, though? Because it doesn't say what they do.
Is anyone else getting vials?
I am not. No.
You said what does the tea do?
Yeah, because I know there's different types of tea, but I don't know what the types do. I thought they had like
Oh.
a... Or does it just make tea?
It just makes tea.
Sure, you know what? Make me some black tea.
Oh,
If it happens that way.
doesn't- Yeah, Crane's like, I haven't got it to work like that, but.
Well, you know what, Krane? Let's hope for some black tea.
Oh, here's some white tea.
That's the polar opposite, Krane. That is the polar opposite.
What?
As your father, I'm disappointed.
I'm
Oh, don't say
just a
that.
little colorblind.
You know what? It's good enough. Thank you, Krane.
Oh.
And I will enjoy my tea. My white tea.
Kos opens up one of his vest pouches, and you see there's a bunch of food coloring in there. It makes you feel better.
No, it's not that serious, Kos.
Alright.
Unless it is.
It's not, I promise. Tea is tea.
Tea's nuts.
Tea is tea.
Oh, tea is tea.
Hmm.
Oh, where'd all those 15 vials go? Clinkety, clankety, clinkety. Vazur, when he's waddling, just clink, 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 clink.
Clink, 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 clink. No, so they're all in scales.
It's that, oh god, it's that scene from Fellowship where Pippin knocks the bucket down and you hear the chain clinking. Tinkety, clink, clink, clink.
Oh.
That's a good little purchase you made there.
You know what?
Yeah.
Gandalf was a really patient guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dealing with Pippin like that.
I don't think he was.
I mean, he yelled at him, but he didn't never
You
like,
fool of a took!
he never blew him up with his mind.
Oh,
so that's
you
cool.
crafted a little thing. What'd you craft, buddy?
He should have blown him up with his mind.
You want to share that with the class?
When the midnight oil is used to light a lantern, it emits bright light for 5 feet and dim light for a further 5 feet for 8 hours. If a creature stays within the light emitted by this oil for the full 8 hours, they all get the benefits of long rest without needing to sleep, provided they only engage in light activities such as reading, studying, talking, etc.
Burning the midnight oil. Got it.
That's Chad Thundercock right there.
Oh, you
That's
stop.
why we bring him.
I'm so happy.
Vazur?
You guys are
Vazur,
using the things. It's so cool.
Vazur's killing it.
What are we making?
Stop
Literally mixing a potion.
What are we alcheming at the White Well?
Stop.
Shoo!
Please. For the love of all that is good in this world.
There's nothing good in this world anymore, bitch.
Oh, shit.
Man. Well, when you guys are ready to say your goodbyes, feel free, because we can skip time overnight. The only other conversation that was going to happen is that Taya was going to come up to you, Riven, and she would say, hey, good prank earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we did good.
Yeah.
We did good. Freaking
Yeah,
out.
I think we did the best we could with it.
Yeah.
I admit, when it comes to doing the pranks, I'm not the best in
You'll
my group
get
at
there.
it.
Didn't have, what? No younger siblings or to pick on?
No.
That's fair.
They all died in a terrible, tragic backstory.
Oh no, I'm an only child.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
Charles, terrible tragic backstory.
Well, I just want to say, thanks for doing everything you guys did here. And again, thank you guys for calming me down earlier. It was a lot to process in my mind. But I'm very happy, to be breathing steadily again and all that. If you guys ever if you're ever at the Solderant Palace at one of the universities there, look me up, see if I've progressed or if I'm still a fledgling academic. But yeah, I'd love to get drinks with you guys or something sometime if you're ever at the capital.
Of course, and true to our word, I will make sure to put in a word of your achievements and knowledge in when we get back to the Mage's Retreat.
Oh, good, because that's kind of where I was leading, but I didn't know how to get there. I didn't want to say it.
No, that's perfectly fine. Trust
Okay.
me, we weren't
Okay.
gonna let it slip our mind.
Yeah, no, you don't seem the type. No.
We try.
Well, that's great. Okay, cool.
Good luck on your endeavors, Taya.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be sure to drink in your name until we all drink together. That's for sure.
Of course, make sure not to drink too much.
Oh no, never. Believe me, I've got my own cures.
Fair enough.
So she will go off, and you can see she's already bugging Kos like a child to a father, like wanting to play with a toy. Like, can I go in yet? Come on. Trying to get back to her studies and her work. Is there any other conversations before y'all take off?
I'm not gonna have any deep conversations, but I would just speak with Urian and let him know that I'm going to head out soon, and of course he's welcome to come with in search of a cure, but I won't pressure him and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
Preferably, of course, in more private type conversation, and then thinking Kavat and Taya and Kos and all the other ones that I don't remember the name of.
Yep, fair. Okay, no big deal. Yep, Urian would thank you once again, but he's gonna stay the course for now. If he needs to get to the mainland, he knows how. So, okay, let's see. Yeah, you guys are fine. All right, cool. So I'm going to pass some time here. I don't think it'll really matter too much, but if you want to snag a long rest, you can. I don't think there's going to be much resources that need to get.
Just my
no.
divine sense.
Currently at top.
Yeah, just the one divine scales, obviously.
Which, that might actually come back on... No, I don't think it does, actually.
Yeah, they're fine. Oh, cool, I used a hit die. That's right. Okay, cool. Well, as you guys get back to the sky ship and take off once again, I will go and get you guys over here. And Elber will sort of, you see he's wrapped typically as he is in his blanket and stuff and all that jazz. And he will just sort of say to all of you, he'll bark out simple orders like, try and undo the rope from that over there and this over here, and you see he's in the midst of lighting a fire inside an iron brazier on the deck, even though there's no risk of burning because there are lanterns and torches and stuff around that are lit. And he's just like, I'm just so darn cold up here. I mean, a little less cold now since since that lady helped me, pointing to Embra. But he's still sort of, you can see he's still sort of chilly. And as this is all happening, Reinhold, you feel a bzz, bzz in your pouch.
I will open it up and take a look.
Okay. All right. As you open it up and take all looksies, the one thing that you hear immediately is the High Zabern's voice, and he says, "Reinhold, hey, really need to talk to you if you're there."
Wait, voice?
Just so we can verbalize this.
Oh, okay, sure. What's going on? Is everything all right?
Yeah, fine. Hey, did you guys do anything like, recently? Like, God, I don't know how to say this. And this is like written very fast. Like, he just says important ? Like,
Yeah, I think we may have solved the issue afflicting the Lightwell.
he writes back, "Oh, good. That phylactery, you guys left me? The big
Yes.
red one from the comet?" And he gets your response, and he just writes back, "It's leaking, seeping out energy. Doesn't look good."
Ah, shit. Where are they at?
They are at Elderborn Forest, at the Guardian Glade of the Druids.
Well, that's not
Okay. Gather around, party members. I will relay that information to everybody. Phylactery's leaking. They're in the Elderborn Forest. Should we change course?
I mean, think about how that could affect the local trout population.
I hate that.
Okay, Vazur's answer is useless. Moving on.
Yeah, he just found a stash of like fisherman magazines, like, and he's reading about it. You're just genuinely like obsessed with it now.
Oh, sorry, wait, you're talking about the what now?
The phylactery that we had acquired, containing Red's power from the meteorite, it's begun leaking.
Oh, that sounds like a very bad thing.
Indeed, and it's in Deba's possession at the moment, but he seems to be frantic, almost like he doesn't even know what to do with it.
And I'm going to request one thing from you all. If you guys could roll a Constitution save in the chat, please. I'll roll for Scales because he's cool. Oh,
Let's hope that everybody was within 10 feet of me, yeah?
we'll be all right.
Okay.
Okay, not bad.
Oh, I forgot to roll it in chat. My bad.
Oh,
You
dear.
got me re-roll it.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say you're near Reinhold. This is very conversational.
Well,
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You still get an 8. That's like more than 1, 2, like all the way through 7. So pretty much everybody, with the exception of Reinhold. In fact, Reinhold, as you're telling them this information and they're like noticing this, as they are learning of this information, they all seem a bit off and like uneasy. And to those of you who do, it is very reminiscent of the feeling you got when your vision was blurred after getting the injection with the ingredients you provided Deba for the ritual, and everything around you goes into a tint of like a reddish brown, sepia filter on it. Reinhold, you're getting that at like the corners of your vision and staving it off at the moment. But you see that as they're learning about this newfound knowledge of this phylactery in peril, as it were, they seem to be like physically unwell at this knowledge, and they feel nauseous. And actually, Riven is starting to like lose a bit of balance, and you see he looks like he's about to lose all that gumbo he ate last night. And it's very much taking a toll on their body. And the last thing you get from the High Zauburn is, I'll talk to the Forest Guardians, but you need to get here fast. No time to waste. And it is scribbled and nearly unintelligible, and not with any notice of pristine penmanship like you know somebody of his status to have. And you have never seen him this unwell. And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode.